Hey, what's going on, guys? It's EJ from MyPathToSelf.com here. Wanted to talk to you about something really cool / weird today that you may or may not have heard of. Not sure how many of you have heard of Elon Musk, but he's this big billionaire guy, and he's really well known for talking about global warming and environmental change and environmental, protecting the environment and alternative energy sources and all that kind of stuff, right? All the green topics that people like to talk about. And he talks about some pretty interesting theoretical stuff too. You know, he's kind of an interesting guy to watch. He's very thoughtful when he talks. And I watched this interview, or I happened to see, in YouTube, it always shows you recommended videos on the side, and it showed me this one that said, we might not be real, we might be in a simulation, all this stuff, right? And so, I just kind of scrolled past it, and a couple days later, I was thinking about it. I'm like, that's kind of a weird concept, it sounds kind of like a Matrix-y, and I decided to do some research on it because, I'm into all this weird, eccentric science and all this kind of stuff. So I watched it, and he said that a simulation isn't necessarily just like in a computer, all that kind of stuff. Like a simulation can technically, it's just a simulated reality, meaning that our thoughts are simulations. Us imagining what a certain situation might cause the future to be like is a simulation. Even if you're just running it in your mind, a dream is a type of simulation. So by his logic, and I might not be 100% correct on this being the way that he described it, but he said that any individual person can have hundreds of billions of potential realities, and by those odds, the chance that we are in a one and only reality is hundreds and hundreds of billions to one. And I thought that was pretty profound and pretty interesting. But I wanted to talk more about the implications of what this would mean as people, or simulated people, or whatever, what have you. And so the main thing I wanted to talk about was the different possibilities that this either opens up or closes off for us. And as I see it, I see three possibilities. I see a simulation being a predetermined past and a predetermined future. That is one possibility, meaning that we can look at the past and we can learn from it, but it ultimately does not matter because we are going one direction and one direction only. And that is not me promoting that band because I hate that band, but anyways, okay, so the option number 2 would be we're also in a simulation. We have a predetermined past, pre-programmed, whatever you want to call it, a past that has already been determined, and we have to use the past in order to achieve the greatest future. And this version of a simulation would be us trying to figure out, based on past experiences, people always say the past equals the future, that kind of thing, but we would have to use those past experiences to bring us in the best possible direction for our future. And I see this one, based on Elon Musk's logic and other things. I watched some astrophysicists talking about the same thing. I see this as the most likely scenario, and it wouldn't, as long as we're all conscious, sentient beings with feelings and emotions, it wouldn't really matter at all, just because you feel like, if we discovered for sure that we were in a simulation, it doesn't necessarily mean that all life goes to hell and that, anything we care about goes out the window. It just means that our understanding of the universe is not as black and white as we've always thought it was. And then the third possible scenario that I see is that we are real humans, which by the logic that I already said, the hundreds of billions of potential realities, it's not a very likely one, but at the same time, it's just a trip, man. It was kind of eye-opening. You know, I was talking about it at 4th of July dinner, and I got a lot of weird looks, of course, but then I also got a lot of really cool conversation out of it for the people that didn't mind, you know, questioning reality for a minute. And I don't know, it's not something that should ultimately influence, you know, the way that your life is going. You know, don't say, oh, I'm in a simulation, that means I can act stupid and, you know, nothing really matters. But, you know, based on the 3 possibilities that I've laid out, which if you guys have any argument with, I'd love to hear it in the comments, because this is the kind of stuff that I think about all day, and it helps when I have some other smart people involved. But based on those 3 possible scenarios, the fact is, no matter what, we have a predetermined past. You know, the past has already happened, everyone knows that, and whether or not we have a predetermined future, we have to use the past to try to move in the direction that is the best for everyone, for humankind, you know, for the whole human race. We have to make sure that what we are doing right now is the best possible action, or the closest to it that we can possibly get, in order to move in that direction that, you know, is ultimately the place we want to go. So anyways, I'd love to hear your thoughts on this. Like I said, it's a little bit weird. I recorded this on the 4th of July, but to be honest, I was a little tipsy, and I was possibly, maybe, a little redundant. So I decided to re-record it. I did try to upload it, and it didn't upload, and I rewatched the video, and I'm like, no, I'm just gonna go record that again, because I'm pretty on point today. I feel that way anyways. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and if you haven't done it already, please subscribe below. You know, give me a thumbs up, or like I said, argue with me in the comments. I would love to hear you guys' thoughts on this, whether or not it's agreeing with me or telling me, oh, there's a 4th possible scenario, whatever. You know, I'd love to hear it. So yeah, I will catch you guys later. Guys, I just wanted to add a little quick something here. It's the notion of solipsism, S-O-L-I-P-C-I-S-M, I believe. Basically, this is the belief that my belief is the one truth, right? So I heard Elon Musk talking about this too, or it was one of the people that I heard talking about simulation theory mentioned that, you know, most people are solipsistic, meaning that they believe that the way they perceive reality is the correct way, right? So basically, you assume that you're sane, and therefore everything that you believe to be true about the universe is true. And I mean, if you can't see the flaw in that logic, then you know, you need to take a hard look at yourself and the world around you. You know, everyone has disagreements. So yeah, this ties in, you know, in the sense that, you know, if I were to prove that this is a simulation, no one of you could prove me wrong, because I've already proved it, and vice versa. So anyways, I wanted to add that real quick. I thought that was pretty interesting, but hope you guys enjoyed it, and I will talk to you later.